in Norway. Just a couple of hours drive to the east of Bergen, the former capital, or now the second city of this country. And here the athletes who are taking part today. 9 contenders all in all, and they represent Moldova, Bulgaria, Turkey, Georgia, Romania, Cyprus and Russia. The 62 kilo final, that's 9 3/4 stone or 136 pounds, whichever way you like to count it. And here is the starting list here with the body weights, the athletes weighing in during the past 2 hours for today's competition. And let's meet them personally. The European under-23 champion, Yuri Dodoglu, and then Vladimir Urumov for Bulgaria, 7th in the World Championships a couple of years ago. Hurshid Atak, one of 2 Turks in this competition, 5th in the Olympic Games. And Ramini Sham Ishvali of Georgia, 4th in the European Junior Championships. And Grozdev of Bulgaria, Minasidis of Cyprus, and Khalibekov of Russia, and Erol Bilgin of Turkey to complete the list. More introductions when we come back after this. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to Norway, to Førde, the smallest community the European Championships have ever visited. And Michaela Breeze alongside myself, David Goldstrom, once again. Thank you very much for joining us for what promises to be an interesting and competitive competition here with 9 athletes who are pretty well seasoned athletes, with perhaps the exceptions of the rule there. Stilian Grozdev of Bulgaria, just 16 years of age, and he may well be the exception to the rule. Well, the 62 kilo championship in past years has been won by some pretty impressive athletes. 5 Turkish victories since 1998, since these weight categories were established in advance of the Sydney Olympic Games. But also Bulgaria very much on the list of winners, with the European records held in the snatch and the total by Nikolai Pashalov, who lifted for Bulgaria but ultimately created those records for Croatia. So we're about a minute away from starting, so first man out here could well be the 16-year-old from Bulgaria, and indeed here he is onto the stage. Well, he was a runner-up last year in the Junior European Championships. He's got a personal best of 118 kilos in this first discipline, the snatch, at 117 on the bar right now.
Well, from a 16-year-old, that's a tremendous start. The confidence he has coming onto a senior stage, this is pretty impressive what we're seeing here. 16-year-old to come out just 1 kilo shy of his personal best. You have to assume that he's done more in training. Technically very proficient.
But do you know what's really impressive? They took him to Houston for the World Championships last year for education. He actually failed 110 kilos in the snatch on 3 occasions, and he's just opened on 117 here. So just think of that as we watch now Ramini Shamilishvili for Georgia. Moving up to this 62 kilo category this season.
Great kick through the middle of the lift. Generates a lot of power as the bar passes his knees. Change in speed is critical. Coming off the floor fast doesn't make out for a good lift. It's what happens as you pass the knees, the explosion, the extension.
And that puts him into 3rd place. actually just behind Gareth Evans of Great Britain, who lifted in the B group earlier today and got 119 kilos plus 142 for 261.
You know, it's really gutting for Gareth to not be able to be competitive in this A group. He's had a really dodgy run up to this competition. I know he's been ill in hospital, he's hardly had much training, and he's capable of more than what he's done today. So had he been fit, he may well have featured in this A group.
But the man who was best earlier in the day in the B group, Alayar Abishov of Azerbaijan, 121 kilos. That actually is the best snatch lift in the 62-kilo championship. The bar was at 120 and now to 121, and it's the 16-year-old. And they've used one of their changes to buy a little bit of time for him to recover from that first attempt. And of course, 121, he weighed in at 61.36. The man from the B group, Abishov, was very light, 60.99. So this would take him into second place by virtue of his slightly heavier body weight.
Another good lift. Hands extremely wide in the snatch. That's because he's quite tall in terms of stature, quite long levers. So the wider you get the hands, the less distance the bar has to travel. You can just see how close that bar is to his head.
So the Georgian now, this is Shamalishvili, coming out for 121, a 3-kilo increase.
60 increase.
Yes, just going a little wild, McCann. 61.38, so this would take him up into third place, behind the 16-year-old. Again, body weight coming into play here. 30-second buzzer.
Well, that's right on his limit, 121. Will he be able to get a personal best today? We'll have to wait and see. Still looking focused, calm and collected. A little short on the extension at the hip. He needs to find that if he's going to find a couple more kilos. Really fast into the receiving position.
And these championships have that extra bite, of course, Michaela, because they are a qualifier for the Olympic Games in Rio. There are plenty of athletes who will appear on this stage this week who aspire, hope and pray, either through performance, maybe through an accumulation of points, that they might just get a place in the Rio Games. And this is the first attempt of Yonot Ili, 122, and this for the outright lead. Well, disappointing start there. Bronze medalist at under-23 level just a couple of seasons ago.
Just drifted onto his toes as he came off the floor. Jumped forwards a fraction, but it wasn't quite enough.
So I don't think anybody else wants this weight. So he may well find himself following. And Michaela, you've known this because sadly you've had to do it, follow yourself in your time.
Oh, it's okay as a youngster, but when you get older, it gets tougher. You know, when you've only got 2 minutes to follow yourself, that time is precious. You know, you want to sit down, get the weight off your legs, straighten your legs out so the blood can flow back to the muscles. But I'm not sure I agree with the change in rule at the moment. So if another athlete is called and then it's straight back to you because they up their weight, you don't get your 2 minutes, you only get 1. And if I'm honest, that is virtually impossible to recover from as an athlete at this kind of level when you're pushing yourself to the absolute limit. Your immune system is just shot after one maximal attempt.
Well, he's got the best part of a minute in which to try and get this second attempt to get his evening going, so to speak. So, Romania, who've already had a big success earlier in the day with Cristina Iovu winning the women's 53-kilo championship.
Well, that's better. Look at the leg strength to stand up with that weight. Very, very comfortable. His issues are not strength, it's more to do with technique. He's not bad technically, but if you watch his starting position, you'll see he doesn't quite set his shoulders back and chest up. Very aggressive lifter. Good to see he's secured 1 lift, 1 to go.
So, just thinking about where he wants to go now. And next man out on the stage is going to be the Commonwealth Games champion from 2014. Very experienced lifter. Here he is, Dimitris Minasidis, representing Cyprus. And in his time, he's been a European junior champion. And he's also medalled in the senior championships, but that was back in 2009 when he totaled up 284 kilos. Today he's actually entered a total of 285, which is quite interesting. He did 276 in the Commonwealth Games to get the gold medal. Just rolls the bar back to perhaps give himself a little bit more movement if he needs it.
Didn't look as sharp as we'd like to see. First attempt should not look that heavy. He's got a personal best of 135. Sorry, that's at a heavier body weight. At this body weight.
But nonetheless, 133 in competition at this body weight.
This is not a lifter that we've seen in the past. 123 is on the bar. This should be a weight he's well capable of. I remember seeing Dimitris lift many years ago, back in around, I don't know, 2004, 2005. I went out to Cyprus to train and discovered the gym where he trains. I guess he was a youngster in the youth and junior ranks at the time.
Biggest ever entry here in the European Championships. 344 lifters, men and women, from some 40 countries. You would expect a strong entry in an Olympic year. And there's the Moldovan, that's Yuri Dudoglu, 24 years of age. And as we were discussing yesterday, these lifters building up towards their opening attempts by a series of lifts, which could be anything, what, between 7, 8, 9, possibly 10?
In terms of warm-up sets, probably around 7 or 8 sets warm-up, not including the bars. They'll do a few sets on the bar, just loosening off, playing about, getting the body moving, and then they start loading. 15 on the bar for Bilgin of Turkey.
So Shamilashvili out on the stage again now for his third and final attempt. So he's gone 118, 121, this for 123 to go into the lead and to get 3 out of 3. And this for a personal best as well.
Oh, that's better. That's the best lift we've seen. Actually had some kick, some explosion through the middle part of the lift. Brilliant lifting. 3 out of 3. You cannot ask any more on this kind of platform.
Young, 21 years of age, good progress. And of course, when you put in a lift like that, particularly to end up and complete the sequence, you know, he's going to feel good, isn't he, when he walks back into the warm-up room to get ready for the clean and jerk.
Yeah, these guys will probably be able to sit back and chill out for 7, 8, 9 minutes before they need to start warming up again for the clean and jerk.
And here's Yuri Dudoglo representing Moldova for 124 kilos. You just saw him warming up momentarily before.
Nice.
Yeah, good start, and this man was very much the man of the under-23 championships in 2012 and 2013.
Really powerful lifter, tremendously quick as well.
Well, a very sprightly Vladimir Urumov was going to come onto the stage, but of course this is the 16-year-old Stilian Grozdev. Now Stilian, 117, 121, those are all personal bests. 124, 14 kilos more than he failed at 3 times in December in Houston at the World Championships. This would be quite something.
Oh, there are not many 16-year-olds that are this strong. And you can see how much that means to him.
Well, just in terms of ages, the youth European record is 123 kilos. He's 16, does he? He doesn't quite...
The youth is under 17.
So that, by my reckoning, is that's a youth European record.
He needs to be under 17 on the 1st of January of this competitive year.
And Urumov now of Bulgaria, 125 kilos to open his account.
Well, doesn't he look good underneath the bar? No wrist supports, no knee supports, no belt.
His best ever performance, this man, was at the World Championships in Almaty in Kazakhstan in 2014. But you can see they're really dynamic, strong drive.
Well, so far, a very, very impressive start to this competition. That was tremendous technically. Got nice and straight in the fully extended position. You'll see some of the lifters throw the shoulders back. As a result, the hips will drive forwards. Lifters that do that will tend to put a swing on the bar, but he had a really nice full extension. Oh. Dimitris getting a little bit frustrated there in the warm-up room. I didn't catch what weight he had on the bar, but remember, he missed his first attempt on 123. He's upped it to 125.
So this is the first appearance of Felix Khalibekov of Russia, who has done an awful lot of lifting at 69 kilos, so really coming down in body weight for this 62. Be interesting to see how that loss of power, how he manages to deal with that.
Well, he's down a bodyweight category, but this is 20 kilos down as well on his best ever lift in the heavier category. That looked very comfortable.
Takes him up into second place.
I'm expecting to see at least a 5 kilo increase. So fast, one of the fastest lifters we've seen so far at these championships.
So Urumov of Bulgaria leading from Khalibekov, and then Dudoglu, and then Grozdev, the 16-year-old, in 4th place. Good start.
Well, this is a testing lift that we're about to see.
Yes, if he fails this, he'll have 1 attempt left to try and keep himself alive for a European Championship total. So he really doesn't want to put himself in that sort of position. So 125 for Minasidis. This would actually zoom him into first place by virtue of lighter body weight. Oh, no.
Well, I've seen him in the past have issues with his elbows. Oh, there we are, touching his elbows now. Just look at the strain that he's under in that position. Here he drops his chest so much, the shoulders and the elbows are really battling hard. He needs to be careful not to hurt himself. One attempt remaining. Oh.
Yeah, just looking at the board here, nobody wants 125. And of course, this is also part of the chess game when you're a coach and you're looking after a competitor is in the same sort of stage of the competition, and you can just make sure that your lifter wants at least 1 kilo more to get rid of this man, so that's one out the way.
Yes, it is, and you'll see the coaches surrounding the scoreboard to keep a very close eye.
They can see Gareth Evans from the B group at the moment in 8th place, but you can see also the 2 Turkish contenders, Bilgin and Atak, yet to start.
Well, place your bets.
Minasidis about to start, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see Bilgin. It'll be interesting to see his warm-up, how that's going at the moment, or indeed Atak. Atak is 24, Bilgin a little more experienced at 29 years of age, and a good support from the Turkish team. So, last momentary instructions here, because this is crucial. He gets it, he stays alive. He fails, and he's out of the championship in terms of overall medals. But this is not what I expected, actually. I was hoping for much better, but this is real pressure. And you sort of sensed, didn't you, Mikhailo, having watched the first 2, that the third one wasn't going to happen.
I've seen him lift so many times now, and the consistency is just not there. When you throw your shoulders back, drive the hips through, swing the bar as much as he does, it's very hard to be consistent. It's a shame to see him out of the competition.
So, attack of Turkey to do just that. Posted one of the higher entry totals at 295 kilos, but it's a very, very tight field in terms of kilos to be lifted, and that's a great start. 126, and goes ahead of Urumov of Bulgaria and Khalibekov of Russia, now down to 3rd place, but they've all got 2 more attempts to come. Great start.
Well, it always makes for an exciting competition when you see guys come out for their first attempt and look that impressive.
So, from one Turk to another, and this is Erol Bilgin. 290 kilos, his entry total, also starting on 126 here. And Bilgin and Atak. Bilgin is the lighter of the 2, so this for the lead.
Well, it's so good to see 2 teammates fighting it out.
It's really game on, isn't it?
It is game on, and do you know what? I'm not placing my bets right now. I couldn't make the call on this. It's not over, though. We've got a number of athletes still left in this competition. Dodoglu in picture now, also attempting 126.
So this is a second attempt, a 2 kilo increase. And again, body weight 61 kilos 25. Dudoglu weighed in. Bilgin, the current leader, 61.55. Attack his teammate, 61.68. And Urumov, 61.33.
Well, a sensible increase, only 2 kilos. And you know what, when it's this close, every kilo counts. That was an intelligent call by the coaches.
5th to 1st.
You know, the risk of putting 3, 4, 5 kilos on the bar and missing it is often too great. And when it is this close, you've got to be so careful.
So it wasn't the perfect start for Yonodili, a failure at 122, and that's rather restricted his ambition. So he's coming out here for 126, and this is going for a share of the lead, but it wouldn't actually put him into first place. Again, he's heavier than Dudoglu, so this would put him into 2nd place.
Oh, hesitated at the top in the fully extended position before dropping under. That wasted time has been very costly.
Yeah, and the loss of that attempt, of course, has really knocked him back. He's left with 122 kilos, plenty of lifts still to come, and the leader's got 126, so he's 4 kilos adrift as it is.
The timing is everything in this sport. So a long walk back to the warm-up room. He'll sit there quietly now on his own, reflecting. But at the end of the day, it's done, it's history. You need to put that behind you and prepare for the clean and jerk.
So Bilgin was going to come out, but the bar's gone to 128, and it's Urumov for Bulgaria who will come out. There's Dudoglu you just saw there momentarily. So 128 kilos here for Urumov, and this is where the final run for home really begins, because this is going to start turning the screw on each of them, and that was so close.
So close, and this lifter impressed me so much in this first attempt. You see the starting position, you'll see how he sets his shoulder blades, chest really high, leads with that chest all the way through. There's such a fine line. It was there, then it wasn't. What a shame.
So Khalibekov has just moved up. He was going to come in, but this is where the coaches are just looking at these precious kilos. They'd love to put this man in again to restrict the amount of recovery time. There are different roles for each of the coaches.
110 on the bar there. As for Khalibekov of Russia, just warming up.
So Dudoglu it is. Now Dudoglu is in first place, so he wants to enhance that by taking these extra 2 kilos. He is one of the lighter men in the class at 61.25, so that's helpful as well. Can he make it 3 out of 3?
Yes, he can.
Not a personal best, but a couple of kilos up on what he did in the World Championships last year. And that was the 3rd attempt and the 3rd measured step by his coaches.
Just lifts his backside, drops his shoulders, but still manages to get good height on the bar. And that confidence underneath. So these lifters are quite closely bunched, and sometimes when you have more than 5 or 6 minutes, you take the extra warm-up lift.
So, bar going to 129 for Hurshid Atak of Turkey. Now, this is a 3-kilo increase. Obviously, at 129, he would go into the lead, outright lead, by a kilo. And this is a very tight competitive fight here. As you said moments ago, literally every kilo is going to count here.
You've still got 4 lifters, and they're only separated by a couple of kilos at the moment. The medals are still there for the taking.
Pressure on. It is a weight that he's lifted successfully before.
Pulled him onto his toes, through the shoulders back. Just don't think he had enough height on the bar. Was that a couple of kilos too many?
Best competitive performance from Rashid coming in the Olympic Games in London when he was 5th, but now Urumov for 129 kilos. Now he's down in 4th place at the moment, out of the medals. Failed at 128. Kilo up on that.
That's better, so much better. And when you're this good technically, that precision is so important. That's when you're going to see the consistency. Yes, he missed one previous lift, but that was a really good recovery.
It was, but that second failure in terms of medals could prove a little costly here. He's in the lead, but there are still 2 men out there with 4 lifts between them. And Atak is going to do just that, coming out again. In fact, 5, including this attempt. The number of lifts remaining in this first half of the men's 62-kilo category. So, half a minute in which to win it.
Oh, that was closer. His left arm just came out of lock, couldn't hold it.
So he's missed the snatch medals. Now the concern is by how much might he be left behind at the halfway stage. We know he's 3 kilos behind the current leader, Urumov.
He has a huge clean and jerk as well, David, so he may well be able to make up the deficit.
But just at this moment, all eyes on Felix Khalibekov of Russia. 5-kilo increase, so that's a confident move.
It is. This is a man we've seen back in the warm-up room in between first and second attempts, taking a couple of other lifts just to tick over, keep the legs firing. You don't really want to be sat down for more than a few minutes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
This man means business.
Russia go into the lead by a kilo.
Well, super impressive, and he's still got 1 attempt remaining. So fast underneath the bar. That speed is everything at this level.
So Khalibekov, as you say, with 1 attempt remaining, but Errol Bilgin has 2. Now, Bilgin at 61.55 would take the advantage if he can pick this up. Interesting, the 2-time European champion, 2009, 2010. It might be a little distant in the memory, those successes.
Well, that's just put him into the lead by virtue of lighter body weight. So it's literally Russia versus Turkey. How much further do they go?
Well, both of them, you've got Khalibekov, who's coming down from 69 kilos to 62. You've got Bilgin, who's a very experienced lifter in this weight category. And, you know, 130, you know, if you look at the record of what he's done over the years, you'd say, you know, this is straightforward and easy. I mean, he was a bronze medalist in the World Championships in Antalya in 2010, and he actually snatched 143 kilos. Well, he's not that same man today. But the bar goes to 132, and immediately the weights change. It goes to 133 for Khalibekov.
I think they both used both changes. Each athlete's allowed to change the weight twice. It automatically goes up by 1 kilo.
So Khalibekov is the heavier. So effectively, all that Bilgin will have to do, if this man lifts this successfully, is to come out and match it to get the gold medal. Sounds easy, never is. Just indicating his elbows to the jury and the referees.
There's nothing wrong with his elbows.
But a little bit of psychology going on there. Oh, fantastic. No, that's 3 great lifts, Mikhaila.
Faultless. Great lifting. You cannot fault this man. He's given it everything.
And again, we haven't seen too many Russians in recent times at this light bodyweight class be this effective.
No, the Russians seem to feature more in the heavier categories, both in the men's and the women's, so it's good to see Russia producing lifters in the 62s.
So, if you want the gold, all you got to do is pick this bar up, Emil Bilgin, and who knows, you could be on your way to a 3rd European title. But this is for the snatch gold and a share of the lead in kilos.
And it's there.
Well, that's a terrific answer, because Khalibekov did nothing wrong, but equally neither did Errol Bilgin. And both men 3 out of 3, and in terms of kilos they share the lead, but lighter bodyweight gives the gold medal to the Turk.
Well, this is going to make for a very interesting second part to the competition. Both these 2 lifters we've just seen, gold and silver, are both set to come out on 150 on the clean and jerk. But let's not rule out the other Turk, Atak. He's coming out on a huge 161. He can easily make up the deficit.
Yeah, he's going to need to, isn't he? Because he's 7 kilos down. You know, as they say, it's quite often good to have the money in the bank. So there is Khalibekov, and here confirmation of the situation. You can see Urumov in 3rd place there. He's 4 kilos off the pace, and 5 kilos off the pace is Dudoglo of Moldova, and then Atak, who made only 1 out of 3. How expensive will those 2 failures be? We'll see in the second half. And then the 16-year-old Grozdev, who really, what a debut on a senior European stage. 3 out of 3 at a big personal best of 124 kilos. And sadly, we've lost Minisidis from the overall title race. The Cypriot, a shadow of his former self. And there is the successful gold medal lift once again. We'll take a break and then get ready for the second half of the competition. Welcome back, and I was going to say before I deserted you that the competition was beautifully set up, and it is. And Errol Bilgin of Turkey at the moment versus Felix Khalibekov of Russia. That's the way it looks in terms of the fight for gold and silver, but that may change. Vladimir Uranov of Bulgaria in the bronze medal position in the snatch, 129 kilos, just 4 kilos light of the leaders, but that may be significant. In 4th place, Yuri Dodoglu, and completing the 5th place, Hushir Tatak of Turkey. So a reminder on the screen for you of the current positions at the halfway stage. Clean and jerk, of course, arguably, Mikhaila, a more forgiving discipline, but then on the other hand, you're trying to lift much greater weights.
Yeah, forgiving, it depends how far you're pushing yourselves. All I know that we've got one heck of a competition lined up, and you didn't mention this attack of Turkey. While he might be 7 or 8 kilos down after the snatch, he's got a huge starting weight posted, 161 there. That could be enough if his warm-up goes to plan to make up the deficit.
So just a few seconds to go for this competition to begin. Of course, if you're just joining us, just to bring you right up to date, unfortunately, we've lost one of our contenders for overall total, and that's Dimitris Minasidis of Cyprus, who failed all 3 attempts and sadly can go for clean and jerk honours, but not really for the total anymore. So first out is the 21-year-old Georgian, Ramini Shameleshvili, and 142 kilos on the bar. Had 3 good attempts, 118, 121, 123 in the snatch phase. New personal best there in that 3rd attempt. That should get the 3 white lights from the referees.
Not much wrong with that. Very convincing in his opening attempt. Just the speed that some of these guys are demonstrating is really tremendous.
And the reason that he goes into 2nd place overall is because earlier in the day, a certain Mr. Suki from Hungary ended up with the biggest total of 269, and that was made up with 117 kilos from the snatch and 152 from the clean and jerk. So the Georgian now 4 kilos off that. And just to emphasize, Gareth Evans of Great Britain finishing with a total of 261, currently in 4th place, but he will of course drop down the order. But not a bad effort by Gareth, I didn't think, today.
Considering the build-up he's had, I think it was a tremendous effort. He's come out, he's gained points for the team, he's done his job. We can't ask much more of him, and I'm hopeful that we're going to see him fighting fit again soon.
Now, Yonut Ili didn't have an auspicious start in the 1st discipline, failed the 1st attempt, and has a lot to do.
Well, there's a power jerk. Doesn't quite drop deep enough to make it a squat. I really wish they wouldn't make the athletes wear these stickers. So many of them are coming off. What's it going to take? A lifter to slip on one of these stickers for something to be done about it. Catches the bar so high and rides it in. Not great technically, but it works for him. Just about in a power position.
Takes him into 3rd place in the clean and jerk, 2nd in the overall, and now this 16-year-old talent from Bulgaria, Stilian Grozdev, did absolutely everything right in the 1st half.
Whoa, there's a sign of a youngster struggling with the leg strength. He's allowed to do that. That's an adjustment, not an attempt. Oh, just a bit too much weight on his front leg. Caused the back foot to slip. Can't blame the platform on that. That's his position underneath the bar. What a shame, he works so hard on the clean. That's going to take an awful lot out of him, and doesn't look like anybody else wants this weight, so he's going to be following himself. Just 2 minutes to recover. This will be a test. Dip straight, drive straight, not bad. Just that bar slightly in front, forces his hips backwards.
And there, news from the warm-up room. Dimitris Minasidis, a miserable first half, and in a way, understandably, has decided to call it a day. It's really tough. He would have known what his condition was on the way here, but nonetheless, again, as we've said on many an occasion, the amount of work you have to do to just get here in one piece, healthy, to strive for the championship. And of course, if there was any aspiration of his to earn an outright place for the Olympic Games, because it would have had to have been a top performance, yeah. I'm afraid that's evaporated, and I'm afraid Dimitris won't be going to Rio.
Well, Cyprus don't have a team strong enough to accumulate points. In fact, I think he may be the only athlete from Cyprus, so his only way of qualifying for Rio would have been top 15 in the world rankings, one lifter per country, and I just don't know if his results previously are going to be good enough to place him high enough.
So here's Stilian. He was superb in the first half, personal best all the way, and he's trying again here for a new clean and jerk personal best by a couple of kilos. Or in fact, indeed.
That's a better clean.
He's going to fight for it.
Well, he needs to be careful as well. The discipline at the end of the lift. He must keep his hands on the bar below shoulder height. But that's, you know, he really is a tremendous talent, and I'm really happy to see that he has a total here at this Championships, especially after bombing out at the Worlds last year. Only 16 years of age. Looking like he's been on the platform for many years already. That could have cost him there. The referees could easily have overturned that decision for letting go of the bar too early.
So trying to lift himself up from 4th place overall now. 5 kilo increase. Decent question. 147. Well, he's got one more attempt. You remember, this was the way, Mikhailo, we were discussing earlier in the day. Was his personal best 146 or 147? But he's doesn't really matter. He's there or thereabouts. He's right on the limit, isn't he?
He is, but he's on the limit of what his mind will allow as well. You cannot underestimate the power of the mind when it comes to these kind of weights. Is the self-belief there? The coach is asking the question, what are you here for? Come on. Bilgan in picture now, 125, 145. Well, looking very comfortable as he warms up. He's posted a 150 to come out on. Based on that, I can't see him coming out 150. Probably 55, no, maybe.
Yeah, but this is part of the game, isn't it? I mean, you don't actually advertise how good you're feeling and where you think you can go to.
Usually these lifters will post the weight a couple of kilos below what they hope to come in on, and then based on the warm-up, they'll increase their weight. Or decrease it if they've had a bad warm-up, but they must do it before the bar is loaded.
Now, look how quickly he's out.
The previous attempt didn't take much out of him, though.
That's true, but nonetheless. And neither did that one take much out of him, but the result is that he's left down in 4th place with a total of 265 kilos. And he'd be disappointed, very disappointed, because that is actually 15 kilos short of the total that he entered. And the rules actually say that you have to be within 20 kilos of your entry total to have a valid total. So he wasn't in danger in that regard, but 15 kilos adrift is a disappointment. So Yonut now, Yonut Ili, currently 3rd overall, 4-kilo increase.
Well, there's a squat jerk, having to sink deeper than he did on his previous attempt. Oh,
but in trouble.
I don't know, wrist or elbow? May just be dizzy as well. I think it's more dizziness than anything. Just
the bar oxygen close to the windpipe.
Yeah, but he was holding that arm as he went down.
Yeah.
I think he's okay.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Just lack of oxygen to the brain.
Yeah, and that's hard, you know, to stand back up with a squat again.
Can't really tell, can you?
No,
maybe it was both.
He's okay.
So. Well, this is for 5 out of 6, and as they say, he's gone into territory, or he's going into territory that he's never been into before. Ten seconds.
Oh, really good clean. Best so far. Takes a long time in this position. Oh,
well, what a finish.
Oh, goodness me.
Did he let it go too early?
Why would he do that? I'm looking now. We've got the jury table right in front of us here. And they are discussing it. They're picking up the phone.
Now, and the...
Oh, how disappointing.
Yeah.
Just lack of discipline, maybe lack of experience. He is only 16, but he let go of that bar before the bar had passed the shoulder height. He'd done all the hard work. Now he's going to be on the phone to his mum now when someone breaks this news. Are they going to overrule it?
Well, the referees have been called. Well, the president of the jury is a very experienced Swede, Benny Johansson, and the referees are
at the shoulder level.
Well, it's a discussion as to where he let the bar go.
Yeah,
was it at shoulder level or beneath?
Well, all 3 referees have been summoned.
Have a look at it again. I don't think he's going to get away with this. I think they're going to reverse it. But let's have a look at it.
Which one? Because of...
No, that's above the shoulders.
Well, he did it on his first attempt as well. He was lucky. That's a real shame. Lack of experience. He'll never do that again. Just you see.
That's... I'm so disappointed for him, aren't you? I mean, it's just really... You know, he's got a total of 273, but that's about to be reduced by 4 kilos to 269. He's fed up. But as you say, he will learn from this. He was lucky the other time as well, remember? It's not the first time.
Well, the coaches are shouting at him. You've got to guess that he's he's been told about this before, and he's having a rap on the knuckles right now. Well, he's young. He'll come back from it. What a shame.
Yeah, indeed. But on we go. And Felix Khaliberkov now lying in second place at the halfway stage by virtue of slightly heavier body weight than Errol Bilgin, but on the same kilos, 133 coming forward. And Khaliberkov now 150.
This is 5 kilos up on anything he's done before at this body weight.
Good clean.
Well, in contrast, he wastes no time with the bar on his shoulders. Gets it up and gets it off. The longer you stand there after the clean, the harder the jerk is going to be.
So remember, Bilgin is posted to come in on exactly the same weight. And of course, if he does do that, and in fact, Bilgin going up a kilo. So 151 kilos straight to the bar for the older of the two Turkish contenders, former two-time European champion, 9th in the Olympic Games at London.
Dipped and paused before he went for it.
Advantage to Khaliberkov at this moment, but of course there's the joker in the pack, isn't there?
Yeah, what happened there? I'm not sure what happened. Just mistimed the dip and drive, maybe. Clean, nothing wrong with that. Stood up fairly comfortably. Just dip, just not flowing. There was just a bit of hesitation before he changed direction to come back out of the dip.
Well, I guess that Bilgin really has to come out and do this again. Because just looking at the board there, you've got Attack at 161, Urumov at 162, and Tudoglu at 166.
Well, that miss could cost him here. It allows 2 or 3 other athletes back into this battle.
Yeah, so those kilos I was just reading out to you there, the posted first attempts at the moment for those men. So this competition could take several different turns. But Bilgin is the man now who can only do what he can do, control what he's in charge of, which is this bar. He can't afford to miss this. If he does, the evening may be lost.
That's good. That's much better. Much more fluent in the dip and drive. Absolutely nailed that weight.
But this is where the number of lives you've got left really begin to count.
Well, he's going to have to take a fairly decent jump, I would have thought, between 2nd and 3rd attempts. Caught the bounce really nicely, stands straight out. Nicely to arm's length, really solid overhead.
So he's a kilo ahead, and now Ionatili of Romania, who at the moment is in 3rd place. This is a 2-kilo increase. It won't change anything in terms of his overall position, but 151 would put him into the lead in the clean and jerk by virtue of lighter body weight. So that's what's on his mind. That's where his thinking is.
That's better, well done.
Well, a much better performance in the second half here, 3 out of 3. And so he increases his total to 273. Odamov now, 152.
Nice. Well, Uramov is back in the competition as well.
Yeah. So Uramov now takes third place overall. First in the clean and jerk with a 152. Good start. Uramov, who was 5th in the Europeans last year with a total of 278, was aspiring to a total of 292 this evening. Don't think he's going to get quite there, but nonetheless, as you said, Mikhailo, brings him back into...
I think he'll go 155 next to try and go ahead of Bilgin.
Still got Dudoglu to open up on his clean and jerk attempt, which is 155, and that's where we're headed now. Just a reminder of where we are. Dudoglu, as you can see, about to start. Minasidis, who's retired, and Attack, who has yet to attack.
Well, this will put Dudoglu right back up into medals. I think second place this will put him into. It's just going to bring him right back into the game.
So there you have it on the graph and the graphics there, going into second place if he lifts this.
Hips behind the bar on the jerk. Left his back foot to slide out. Some aggressive lifting we're seeing here.
Yeah, but you've got to make the lifts. That's the real point here. And, you know, if he made that and still had 2 attempts left, what a difference it makes. It gives him so many more options.
Oh, it does. He posted 145 originally at the weigh-in, and usually lifters will increase by 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 kilos. But he's increased his starting weight by 10 to come out on 155. As I say to my athletes all the time, it's not the weight you start on that's important, it's what you finish on.
It's Khaliberkov, who has this routine, doesn't he? When he goes back, he doesn't stay idle, he keeps moving.
It's important that there's too long a break between first and second attempts. We've got so many lifters on the same weights.
So, as you predicted, Uramov on 155. So, 3 kilo increase here. This would take him to 284 and into the overall lead on body weight. That's okay. Got to control.
Forwards.
And that's what I feared. Again, the hips went back, and I was really concerned that he would lose control of that, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, that would have put him into the lead. Clean, looks strong, very dynamic, great leg strength. I'd like to see the jerk from the side. There we are. Massive curve in the lower back. That pulls the hips right back out from underneath the bar. Puts the lower back under some serious stress.
So Dudoglu Dudoglu, I should say, to try and make an amends for that first attempt failure. He's achieved this weight. In fact, his personal best is 157. But it's how you are on the day, not what you've done in the past.
No, he's gone again. And has this huge increase on starting weight. Is it going to cost him severely? He only has 1 attempt remaining to stay in the competition.
Yeah, he He can't put the bar up.
No. Clean is good. Jerk, just straight back leg, pulls the hips behind the bar. It's only marginal.
But the only piece of good luck that he's had is that Errol Bilgin wants this weight as well, so just gives him a fraction more time in which to try and recover. So Bilgin out here now. And this is the last throw of the dice for him. 4-kilo increase to take him to 288, and then he can do no more.
Oh, he needed that. And that was one tremendous fight. So nearly lost that jerk forwards. He can breathe a sigh of relief. He's recovered as best he can. 5 out of 6 lifts. Not a bad day in the office. He'll have to wait and see how costly that first missed jerk was.
But there's still Khalibekov of Russia to come. And Khalibekov now, he's got 2 attempts left, and he's got a 5-kilo gap to close. And in fact, it's a little bit more than that because he is heavier than Bilgin. So he's going to have to find 6 kilos with 2 attempts. How's he going to do it? He's thinking about it. The coaches are thinking about it. But before that, Mr. Dudoglu's got to come out and try again to keep himself alive. Misses this, no total.
I think Dudoglu's going up, risking everything for another kilo.
Just to give himself a little bit more time to recover. Khalibekov.
This is enough to take him into the lead.
6-kilo increase, though. Is it the right way to go?
Absolutely. This is the weight I would have called. He needs 1 kilo more than Bilgin. He's then got to watch everybody else try and make up the deficit from the snatch.
But essentially, he gets this, he wins the gold. He wins the title.
Attack of Turkey still yet to start.
True, the joker in the pack.
Oh, there's not much more there. But that's good enough. Good enough to put him in the lead for the time being. Indeed.
You're absolutely right, Michaela. I was losing track of attack.
Okay, so Attack of Turkey, well, 5, 6, 7 kilos behind and has heavier body weight, so needs to outlift by 8 kilos. Oof, that's a big ask. 164.
So first Dudoglu, then Khalibekov to maybe take an extra kilo or 2 just to try.
I think he's going to need a couple of kilos.
Yeah?
If Attack is in the shape he's posted, 161.
Well, let's just concentrate on this at the moment.
Wow, great recovery. I think he's just secured himself a medal on the clean and jerk. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to hang on to an overall medal.
Well, he's in 3rd place, but you're right, with Attack still in the wings, he could be pushed down. But actually, you've got to say well done to them, because they took the extra time, they put the kilo on, and he came out and delivered. So,
well,
you know.
The other lifts weren't too far away, but that was a really good lift under so much pressure. Ooh, here we go. Attack coming out on 157. He's lowered his starting weight. This is to guarantee, I guess, a medal overall. Make sure he gets 1 in.
And also points for the team.
Comfortable.
Yeah, that was looking quite straightforward, that. And the result of that opening good attempt there is that he's pushed himself up into overall 4th place. But he is still 6 kilos light. And he's at 61.68. He's just lighter than Khalibekov.
I think he's had a rough warm-up. I think he's lowered his starting weight, not just to guarantee a medal, but because his warm-up's not gone quite to plan. He'll just sit and wait now, let everybody else take their lifts and see what he needs.
So Khalibekov at the moment has posted 159. Urumov now. Last attempt. This is effectively a 7 kilo increase he's going for here, to take him to 288 and into overall silver.
He wants to get his hips under the bar. Forwards. Oh, has he got the stability in the shoulders?
Yes, he has.
Oh, yes. Let's have some of that, please.
Well done to him, because he regained control there. That could have so easily been a lost lift, but you can see the delight there from, and delight and relief from the coaches. Just have a look at this.
Brilliant lifting, fighting right to the end.
Gets those feet in line. And you'd think there was £1 million bonus, really, wouldn't you, for the coach on the coach's activities in the corner.
That comes at the Olympics.
So 159 kilos now. So this is their judgment call here. Their judgment call is that if he can get these extra 3 kilos, at the end of the day, attack will fail.
Whoa,
can he clean it?
It's tough. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He's gone dizzy as well.
Yeah.
Well, his back nearly buckled underneath that weight. Didn't like the quiver through the body. He could easily have pulled something. I think he probably has, you know.
Yeah, Robert Yannick, the doctor, on there pretty quickly to look after him.
So tough, clean, uses everything. Oh, yeah, I think he's tweaked his back on that. He'll be okay. He'll be a bit sore for a few days, I think, but it'll be worse when the adrenaline wears off.
So this is where we are. 2 attempts. The situation is that Khalibekov of Russia is in the lead. And the man on the stage now finds himself 6 kilos behind. So this is 157 to 163. So this is for the gold medal. If he lifts it, he wins the Championship of Europe. If he misses, he's got 1 more attempt.
Oh,
he's not going to miss, is he? And Khalibekov has to settle for the overall silver, and Urumov of Bulgaria in the bronze medal position now. And off the podium, Errol Bilgin, because Attack's second attempt success here has pushed his own teammate out of the overall medals.
Well, I said he was one to watch. He had a huge clean and jerk, and he's just pulled it out of the bag when it really mattered.
And it's up to him whether he wants to take the... There's Khalibekov.
167,
What's the bar going to? 167. I think this is for a personal best at this body weight. Best 166.
No, I've actually got a 172. Yeah, and that was in the Olympic Games in London.
At this body weight.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, he's gone 168. Again, may just be a test to see where he's at right now. put his cards on the table ahead of the Olympic Games.
Well, it's good to see Khaliberkov, good to see Felix smiling. As you say, the magic spray just easing the pain.
Nothing replaces adrenaline.
Yeah.
He's going to be in trouble this evening,
Yeah,
I think.
but adrenaline doesn't last forever.
No, but make the most of it while you can.
It's that moment when you lie down on the bed, isn't it?
Or when you wake up tomorrow morning. It's the joys of pushing the body to the limits, and these guys really are pushing themselves to the absolute max.
Yeah, European clean and jerk record is 181. That was set in the World Championships in Turkey in Antalya in 2001 by Gennady Oleshuk of Belarus. So we're a long way from that, but the bar is now at 170. That's what he's settled for. And you may well be right. This is just to find out a few months before the Olympic Games where he is, what he can do.
Well, I think 170 is the answer. Yes.
Yeah. So again, another competition, finishing with a little icing on the cake there. And attack with only 4 out of 6 attempts, but he's really made the difference in the clean and jerk. That is his discipline. And Turkey have a gold medal in the clean and jerk, and they also have another one, of course, for the overall. He wins with 296 kilos. So Turkey take the Championship of Europe for 62 kilos. Khaliberkov of Russia, a silver in the snatch, a silver overall, and the bronze going to Vladimir Uranov of Bulgaria. A bronze in the snatch, a silver in the clean and jerk, and a bronze overall. But the man of the evening, Khurshid Atak, undeniable in the clean and jerk. And there you can see those 3 excellent attempts. Uranov taking the silver, Dudoglo a really worthy bronze there. Good fight by him. And Khaliberkov and Bilgin are the 2 who miss out in that particular discipline. And as I said, Minasidis retiring at the halfway stage, taking no part in the clean and jerk after failing to get a successful lift in the first half of the competition. So here you can see this again. 170 kilos on the bar.
Well, he works hard all the way to the end. That's a lifter in brilliant form, testing himself to the limits. He'll be going into the Olympics with some tremendous confidence.
So, just confirmation of the final positions, the totals. 296. So it's a clear victory. You can see there by 7 kilos, and then just a kilo separating the Russian and the Bulgarian. And Errol Bilgin, remember he had that failure on the first attempt in the clean and jerk. Look how close there he would have been to getting an overall medal, but not to be, missing out by heavier body weight.